Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, in this video today, we are going to be talking about how to make your home happier, how to make your home more beautiful, that you're going to love being there. It's going to really affect your mood because let's be honest, design matters when it comes to your mood. In fact, what I always say in these videos is the first thing you should think about when you're designing your home is what mood do I want to create in the space, right? Which is, do I want it to be moody and sophisticated, joyful and fun, tranquil and relaxing, dramatic and interesting? Like, what do you want? What do you want? What mood do you want to create? But I do think no matter what, most of us want to create a home that is warm and inviting and relaxing. Unless you want to create something that is really off-putting so that you can have, so people don't come visit you, in which case that's a different video. But for this one, how to make your home a happier place to be. Let's get going. Okay, first thing I am going to talk about, and this is a bit unorthodox, we're going to say to decorate your bedroom. Now, it's a weird place to start because I know you're thinking I was going with the living room, but you know what? The bedroom is oftentimes a room in the house that doesn't get a whole lot of attention. Typically, this is what people do. They put like all their best foot forward into their living room, right? Because that's the spot where they're entertaining, that's the spot where the family congregates, that's where they spend a lot of their time. But the bedroom is a really important room in the house because rest and sleep is very, very important. So the colors that you choose, the lighting that you have, the decor that you choose for that space, it really matters in terms of having a home that is overall going to make you feel happier. So I would encourage you to not just take the bedroom and look at it as an afterthought. So many bedrooms just basically have that IKEA mom bed in the center of the room. They may have a couple of side tables, which maybe could have been just some overturned milk cartons, depending on your choices. And, not really a lot of time is spent to really curate and design the actual bedroom. So all the rules of designing a bedroom still apply. Focus on texture, focus on color, focus on really interesting shapes, the furniture that you're going to need to meet your functional needs in the bedroom. All those things are really important, and not just have a bedroom as sort of an afterthought and sort of kind of like, well, it's only me that uses it, or me and my partner, so like who really cares, and just sort of leave it there as an afterthought. Take the time, invest in good linens, invest in a bed blanket, invest in maybe some seating if you have the luxurious space to maybe do that. Put art in your bedroom, right? Decorate your space, because ultimately that is going to be the sanctuary that you go to at the end of the evening. And that is a massive part of you being a happier individual, is making sure that you have a restful place for you to go to at the end of the night. So don't leave the bedroom as an afterthought. Get inspired by some beautiful bedrooms that are out there and create something really magical that is cohesive, that fits the vibe of the rest of the space of what you're trying to create. Okay, next up on my list is going to be lighting. Lighting is very important. I talk about lighting a lot on this channel, and I feel like I'm like, are people just sick of me talking about lighting? No, you're not sick of talking about lighting because you keep clicking on the videos. So you know what? You keep clicking, I keep making. So let's talk about lighting, because you have to when it comes to mood, because it makes such a big difference. First of all, there's natural light, there's artificial light, we've got daylight, we've got evening light, right? We've got lots of different lights that are happening in the space. I would say in terms of natural light, that's obviously going to be really dependent on sort of how many windows that you have in the space. If you're living in a basement suite and there's one little tiny window there, I'm sorry, I can't make new windows for you. If you live in a space where you've got giant floor to ceiling windows all over the place and it's a double height ceiling and whatever, fabulous, good for you. But regardless, what you can do is control light through things like beautiful window treatments, and that makes a huge difference. Things like blinds that you can use Roman shades if you so choose, but having the ability to control the natural light happening into the space is going to be huge to be able to set the mood that you're trying to create. Natural light though, obviously if you have access to it, it's really important to improve mood in a space. So, let's be honest, you guys, like when I had this YouTube channel, I don't know if you guys remember, but during the old pandemic, dark days, am I right? I had a flood in my old apartment, and then I moved into that very unfortunate Airbnb that I had to live in for 4 months in the depths of winter during lockdown. And it had basically a tiny little window at the top that was like, you could see people's feet when they walked by that window. I was depressed. But every week I had to be like, hey, here I am, interior design clown on the internet every Saturday morning for you all. But honestly, it was dark days. And I know it was dark for everybody, and I had it great. I'm not complaining. Like other people, like nurses and doctors, really had it as, that's a hardship that they faced. All I had to do was sit here and make fun of HomeSense to a camera for a year. So it wasn't that bad. But you know what I mean? It was depressing because I didn't have natural light. So if you have natural light, take it into your space, use it as much as you can. If you don't, and even if you do, do, it still becomes really important to use artificial light as well. So make sure that you have a actual lighting plan that incorporates in ambient lighting, as well as task lighting, as well as accent lighting, to make sure you're really highlighting the places that you want to in your home. May it be a piece of art, something like that. You've got task lighting for the appropriate tasks that you're going to be using. Could be pendants over top of the kitchen island for you to be using in the kitchen, or maybe some under counter or under cabinet lighting in the kitchen. A reading lamp can be lovely. Table lamps can be lovely. Sconces in the bathroom to make sure that you have appropriate lighting as opposed to just that ceiling light in the center of the room. Having a complete lighting plan makes a lot of sense. You might not have a ton of control of the natural light that you're getting into the space. Again, you want to control it with those window treatments, but you probably don't. You can't just make a whole lot more of it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have punched a hole in that Airbnb, let me tell you, and just to let more light in, for God's sake. But you do have control over the artificial light that you have in the space. Two other things: dimmers. Dimmers become really important because they allow you to control the amount of lighting that you have in your space. So if you're entertaining, you might want lower lights because it's a little bit more flattering for people. Nobody wants a giant spotlight in their face while they're trying to play whatever, Settlers of Catan on a Friday night with their friends. You know what I mean? No one wants that. If you're sitting there having a nice glass of wine and you've got some big spotlight on your face, it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. Do you know what I mean? So dim those lights. Everybody's gonna look a lot flattering and thank you later. So that's really important, but you also wanna make sure to put those lights on blast if it's daytime and you're using them for the task that you actually need them to, so you can actually see what you're doing. You want the control. That's really what we're talking about when we're talking about lighting, whether it's those drapery panels or things on dimmers. The other thing is lighting temperature. Okay, you've heard me say it before. Hospital lighting, garage lighting is not meant for the dining room. Okay, it's not meant for the dining room. You know, it's not flattering on anybody. Okay, I went to the doctor's office a little while ago. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine. I see people in the comment section sometimes being like, is Nick okay? He looks like he's really going through it. And I'm like, actually, I'm fine, but that's insulting in a different way. But anyway, cool. I was at the doctor's the other day, no big deal, nobody worry. But God, that place is unflattering. You know what I mean? As I sat there on that rickety old little folding chair and the nurses, I mean, they're working their little bums off over there, but my gosh, that place is depressing. Whew. Do you know what I mean? Because it's the hospital lighting. So if you have hospital lighting in your home, it's not doing wonders for your mood. Okay, do you feel good in the doctor's office? No, of course you don't. No one was smiling there, I can guarantee you. No one was making small talk. It was not fun. So get warmer lighting in the home. It's a lot more flattering. It's a lot more enjoyable. People are going to have fun. People are going to want to come over to your house because you put things on dimmers so that they look flattering and you've got warmer lighting. Because if you got the garage lighting in the dining area, no one's going to want to come over for dinner, okay? Okay, next up on my list is going to be to entertain. Entertain in your, I have never said this in a video before, but like entertain people in your own home. Provide energy. I don't know. I think, wasn't it Maya Angelou who was like, she thinks that like words and memories, like they stick to the walls. I remember that a quote from her. I'm no Maya, let's be honest. I'm not gonna try to be, but you know, it's true. I really do think that when you're in a space that has those memories, that has that fun with your friends and family, I do believe there's just something in the air. You know what I mean? Build a space that people actually want to be in. I really do think that it makes a massive difference. People will come over, and if you're watching Nick Lewis videos, because of course you are, because what else are you watching here on YouTube, Mr. Beast? Probably not. You're probably watching me, right? So you're watching me and you've made some of my tips, you replaced the boob lights, you got things on dimmers, okay, you're happening, you got things going on. And then you get friends coming over and they say, gosh, your place looks beautiful. You decluttered. Oh my God, you got rid of that awful open shelving and you put some closed storage in. Fantastic. You know what I mean? And people come over and they compliment you and now you feel great about the space that you live in. That's a wonderful thing. I think it's just really gonna make you enjoy the hard work that you've put in to actually create a space. Here's the thing about design that I really love. I love a lot about design, but I think that it's one of the few areas of your life where you get to actually have a representation of yourself and invite people in, right? People are able to come in and experience your home, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. You know, your fashion can do obviously a great job of sort of like showing yourself, going off into the world in a way to express yourself, and that's a great thing too. But with your home, you actually get to invite people in. And also, if you have family members that have good taste, if they don't, then you can just ignore them. But if you have family members that have good taste, then you can also create a space that represents both of you or all of you, if you're a couple or a family or whatever, and everybody sort of gets to put in their 2 cents. Now again, that is dependent on whether or not those 2 cents are worth listening to. People always talk about how, yes, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but that doesn't make it a good opinion, right? I'll be the judge of that. And sometimes people have bad opinions in your family and those people are to be ignored. But the rest, you know, you create something that represents you as a family, and that's a wonderful thing, so people can come in and experience that. So socialize in your space and you will get to see all that hard work is rewarded by people complimenting you on how gorgeous your space looks, and it just brings life into a space that wasn't there before. And I think actually the pandemic, you know, may have showed us that a little bit, right? I don't know, I kind of missed people sometimes, you know? Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay, and then of course, next up, going on the same line here, it's just add in memories, things that actually mean something. So I get all the time people ask, like, what should I use for art? What is art? If I can't just go and buy the word sign at HomeSense because you told me not to, ad nauseum, okay? Or you can't just buy the Amsterdam print from IKEA, or that ox. Is that like an ox print or something from IKEA? I feel like they got some weird stuff over there. But anyway, they have like obscure prints that I've seen 10,000 times. I don't know. Anyway, so apart from all of that crap that IKEA sells, which I love IKEA, but I just don't love their art prints just in general. In spite of all that, what do I use for art, Nick? It can be whatever you want it to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had a friend over the other day, my best friend, love her, and Archana came over and she was like, you know, she loved this little piece that I have right over here that I've showed you guys a few times, and it's this print of like, it's not even a print. It's like an old, like the little rolly things on the side of the cars that they have, like the trams they had back in the 60s, whatever my grandpa had in his basement, then my dad did, and then I took it and I had it framed. And she was like, oh, that's so cool. And she was looking at it and it was like, it was interesting. It meant something. The clock back there, it means more to me that it's at 12:20 or 12:18 than it does if it was working, because you guys all comment on it. So yes, it could change the batteries. It's not stupid. I know the batteries are dead. Actually, there was a good few videos where I didn't know the batteries died until you guys pointed it out. But I do know now that the batteries are dead, but I don't change them because it's actually iconic because it's 12:8. If it worked, it wouldn't be as good. You know what I mean? So create your own art piece, create your own memories. People all the time, you know, if I'm on trips or whatever, I'm not a big souvenir guy. Like if I go somewhere, I travel, I don't usually buy I'm not gonna buy like a Barcelona tote bag. Like that's, no, I don't need that. But I will buy home decor or something in Barcelona and come bring that back and then display that in my home. And then you have that forever. And that's a really wonderful thing. People bring, if people gift something to you and people don't buy me gifts, to be honest, because, well, they don't buy me home decor because like, I'm obviously like hard to, no one wants to be like ridiculed here on the internet later. So they just don't buy me that, which is a smart move. But if they did, then I would display it proudly, unless it wasn't great. But like, if it was, then I would, and that's great. And it has like memories because it reminds me of the person that gave it to me, right? So maybe you have that too. Family stuff, you know, if you like your family, your kids may have made you something ugly and you can now frame that and put it because it means something because it came from your kid. You probably wouldn't have done it if it was somebody else because it's not very good, but because it's your kid, it means something. Use that as art. Photo prints, things that you got, things that you thrifted, things that you find, that's your art, that's your memories you bring into your home. And then every time you're in your home, it'll improve your mood because it'll remind you, just all around you, of the things that you love and the people that you love that are then represented in your home. Also, by the way, you know what is also really important is if you have things that bring bad memories, time to get rid of those as well. Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got something that was gifted to you by like an ex-boyfriend or something, like the boyfriend's gone, so like time to go. You know, I dated a guy a little while ago, don't want to talk about it, but you know, he brought me a plant. Guess where that plant is? It ain't here anymore. Because every time I would see that plant or you see all this other stuff, it reminds you of things that you don't really want in your life anymore. So in the same way that the guy's gone, so should the crap. So yes, if you have great memories of certain things and you want to remember, like that trip to Barcelona, bring those things back and that's fabulous. But if you have memories of things that you didn't like, that are not so great experience, or maybe they were fun at the time, but they're just not serving you anymore, time for those to move on as well. Okay, and then next up on my list is going to be plants and pets. And you could also add kids, but we'll get to that. So plants and pets. First of all, plants, I don't have them because I kill them all. But theoretically, I do like them. I do like them even if I don't have one. I thought about getting one the other day, but I didn't. Plants are great, right? They literally provide oxygen into the space, they provide life into the space, and that can be a really wonderful thing. There's a lot of research. You didn't come here for like a psych analysis or something, so like I'm obviously not gonna do that. I'm not a medical professional by any stretch, but like this isn't professional but like counseling advice, by the way, in terms of how to improve your mood, okay? But if you had like plants, I think plants are good. They make you, they give life. They just make you feel better. I think when you're around nature, it's more relaxing. And so yes, I have gone on record to say that sometimes the plant people, the plant gays, they're a little bit much. They overwhelm their space and it's a jungle in there and that's overwhelming for me. But I would say some plants in a space, they just give life. They just add a little bit of texture. They just add interest. Yes, I've reduced organic life to texture, but that's just me. Like it really does give some little bit of color. It just sort of gives that life into a space and makes you happy. Having a few plants, I think, can be a wonderful way to sort of just make your space feel like it is a little bit more alive than it was before them. And I should probably do that, but I just kill them all. I don't know. Maybe I should water them. I hear that works. Maybe I should try that. I don't know. I've never tried that before, but maybe I'll try that next time. Pets. I love pets. Pets I'm a big fan of. So if you like cats, you like dogs, or maybe you're one of those weirdos that has exotic pets, then you know what? Those are really fun too, because they also provide love, and they're here all the time. I mean, they're not decor, so let's not pretend that a pet is a decor item, but at the same time, they do literally provide a lot of fun and love into a house. Like, this is my will, okay? Like, you guys are all my witness. If I die, just give all my money to like a pet, to like a dog rescue, because that's where I want all my money to go. I love dogs and I like cats. And you know what? Those are really great too. And if you love them, have them in your home because, well, they're part of the family. I don't care. They're not pets, they're family. And finally, kids. Listen, it's a judgment call for you if kids are hit and miss, let's be honest. I mean, yours is probably great, obviously. Everybody likes their own, but like other kids, other people's kids, they're hit or miss. So those can be great too. They can add a lot of life into a home. They can also be annoying. So that's a little bit of like, could go either way, but you know, pets and plants, they never miss. Kids, generally good. Yours are probably great. So you know what? They add life and they add fun into a home. And I'm assuming, I mean, this is about making your home like not be depressing and making your home feel, and maybe your kids add stress to your life. I don't know. But I would like to think, I hope for your sake, that they do make you feel better about life, in which case, then it's good that they're there. Okay, and then my next tip for you all, and this is free, I promise you, it's gonna be to clean, okay? It's gonna be to clean, it's gonna be to declutter, because when you have just the right amount of stuff that you have in your home that you're meant to have. Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got not enough stuff, then maybe it's gonna look a little bit like a prison and that's not great. But if you want something, you know, you want to get just that right amount of stuff, maybe just take a few things away. Do you know what I mean? Like decluttering is huge. This is about getting rid of the crap you don't need. And we all have it and we all need to just kind of get rid of it. I'm actually pretty good at decluttering my living room. I'm not really good. You all know my addiction to small countertop kitchen appliances. It's getting out of hand. I've got way too many. Like I have 2 waffle makers because I bought a second one by accident because I didn't know, I thought I threw out the first one. Turns out now I have 2. Anyway, I'm really addicted to that. I need to get rid of that stuff, but it's all hidden away in a cabinet so I can forget about it. But you need to declutter your home because it's gonna make your home feel overwhelming, okay? It just makes you anxious if you have too much crap lying around that you don't need. So just get rid of it. This is the time. It's not spring. I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching this when it goes live, it's September. But you know what? It's September cleaning. We don't need spring cleaning anymore. Just get rid of the stuff you don't need. And if you do need it, but it's just lying around and you don't use it all the time, hide it behind some close storage, because just providing that visual barrier to like stop some of that stuff from just like being in your view all the time is going to make you feel more relaxed in your own home. If I go to somebody's house and they're like, hey, have a seat, and I've got to like go on their couch, you know what I'm talking about, and you have to like move a bunch of like kids toys and then like magazines and like the remote, and like you have to like basically clear a little room for yourself for you to park your bum. No, I'm not relaxed in that home. And if that's your home, how are you relaxed every day? You never are. So get rid of all that stuff, declutter your home. And if you have children, I don't know, you didn't come here for parenting advice, but my advice would be like, this is a shared space. So hey, kids crap goes in your room. Get rid of it. We don't need it in the living room. And I know easier said than done, because you know, if there's one thing I know parents love, it's when people that don't have children tell them how to parent. I know it's like your favorite thing, but I would say 5 minutes and it's out of here. That would be me. If I was in there, I'd be like, what's that Nanny 911 or whatever, that show? Oh God, could I be the new Nanny 911? That would be amazing. Could you guys imagine if I had that show? That would be so good. Anyway, I'm just saying, the kids crap, whatever, the magazines, the old stuff that you don't need anymore, the old junk, get rid of it, get it on Facebook Marketplace to gift in exchange for money to somebody else, or hide it behind closed storage. You don't have to look at it every day. That's my advice, because an uncluttered home is an uncluttered mind. I just made that quote up. Maybe I didn't, maybe somebody else came up with it, but to me, that makes sense. Get rid of all your old stuff. Okay, so that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you really got a lot out of that. Again, that is not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination, so do with it what you will. I'm gonna link here to a video on how your home might be depressing, because guess what? It's kind of the opposite, because I brought out a couple other points there that might be really bringing down your home a little bit. So go check out that video and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, bye.